My mom died, my father inherited our house and $33 million. Then he kicked me out saying find somewhere else to die. Your mother isn't here to protect you anymore. Days later, the lawyer laughed and said, did you even read the will? And my father went pale. My mom passed on a Tuesday. Pancreatic cancer. She fought for 14 months and lost. I was 24, living at home because she asked me to stay close during treatment. I cooked for her, drove her to chemo, sat with her during the bad nights when she couldn't sleep. I held her hand when the pain medication stopped working and she just needed someone there. My father did none of that. He traveled for work, came home on weekends, sometimes not even then. He'd call from hotel rooms and ask if she was still awake, not how she was doing, not if she needed anything, just if she was awake, like he was checking whether he had to bother. The day after the funeral, he sat me down at the dining table. Paperwork spread across the table. Her coffee mug was still in the sink. I need you to find your own place. I stared at him. My mother's flowers were still fresh on the dining room table. The guest book from the service was still on the counter. What? The house is mine now. Your mother's life insurance, her investments, the property, all of it comes to me as the surviving spouse. I'm going to sell the house and relocate. Dad, Mom died yesterday. Can we not do this right now? His face didn't change. Find somewhere else to die. Your mother isn't here to protect you anymore. Those words hit me like concrete. He said it flat, like he'd been rehearsing, like he'd been waiting for her to be gone so he could finally say it. I packed what I could into my car that night. He didn't help. He stood in the doorway and watched me carry boxes in the dark. I slept at my friend Tyler's apartment on an air mattress for 2 weeks. I had $3,200 in savings. No job lined up because I'd quit mine to take care of Mom full time. Every morning I woke up and the first thing I felt was her absence, followed immediately by his betrayal. He didn't call, not once. I heard through my aunt that he was already meeting with realtors. The house was listed within 10 days. Mom's garden was in the listing photos. Her reading chair visible through the window, priced at $1.2 million. Then I got a call from a lawyer named Douglas Webb. He said he represented my mother's estate and needed to meet with me urgently. I figured it was about some small keepsake she'd left me, maybe her jewelry or her books. I walked into his office expecting nothing. He was sitting behind a massive desk. Your father came in here last week demanding access to your mother's full estate. He was very confident. He told me everything goes to him. That's what he assumed. He didn't read the will. He slid a document across the desk. My mother had written a separate will 2 years before she got sick. She had it notarized, witnessed, completely airtight. In it, she left the house to me, not my father, me. She'd inherited the property from her parents before the marriage. It was never marital property. It was never his. The life insurance, $2 million, was split. Half to me, half to a children's hospital where she volunteered every Saturday for a decade. Her investment portfolio, built entirely from her family's money and her own career in finance, totaled $33 million. She left $31 million of it to me in a protected trust with conditions I wouldn't access the bulk until 30. My father received exactly $200,000. A note was attached to his portion. It read, "This is more than you earned. You know why." I read that line 4 times. Douglas leaned back. Your father was served notice this morning. He's been informed that the house sale is void because he has no ownership rights. He's also been asked to vacate within 30 days. He's been living there this whole time. In your house. Yes. I drove back to Tyler's place and sat in the car for an hour. My mother, even while dying, had been planning. She watched my father check out of the marriage, check out of her illness, and she quietly rewrote everything. She didn't confront him. She didn't fight. She just made sure he'd wake up one day and realize the ground beneath him was never his to stand on. My father called that evening. First time since he kicked me out. We need to talk about this will situation. What about it? Your mother wasn't thinking clearly. She was on medication. We can contest this. She wrote it 2 years before the diagnosis, before any medication. Silence. You can't take everything from me. I'm your father. You told me to find somewhere to die. More silence. I'll give you the house. Just let me keep the investments. They're not yours to keep. He started crying. I'd never heard him cry before. Not at the diagnosis, not at the funeral, not once during 14 months of watching his wife disappear. But he cried now, when the money was gone. Please, he said. I have nothing. You have $200,000. And a note from Mom explaining exactly why. I hung up. He contested the will. His own lawyer told him he had no case. I moved back into the house last month. He sends letters sometimes. I don't open them.